partner and I joined First United Methodist Church, and in the membership class, they ask you to write down the gifts that you will share with the church. And let me be very transparent, I was a total whiner in my mind, because I thought, seriously? I do not want to give up my playtime. But then I thought of something I was missing, which is coaching, and helping facilitate the growth that women experience when they try physical activity, particularly something that they don't think they can do. Well, why women? I realize on the margins, women are receiving more and more encouragement to be physically active. But I work in campus recreation at Indiana University, and I continue to see the constraints that impact women in areas of self-image, self-esteem, the ability to prioritize your own needs. So my offer to the church was to help any women complete a short distance triathlon, swimming, biking, running, no experience necessary. We scheduled a meeting, we put a notice in the church bulletin, and 5 women walked in. Every one of those women said the same thing to me. I am not doing this triathlon thing. I just want to hear about it. And I said, great. Come meet me next Saturday, we'll just go for a walk. Then we're gonna run a little bit, and later we'll bike a little, and then we'll swim a little bit, and then we'll do the triathlon. And we have 4 months for the journey. But first we walked. And that Saturday, all 5 women showed up. Pretty quickly, the group grew, because the women were telling their friends what we were doing, and their friends wanted to join. And we welcomed everybody, because I knew the importance of the social connection as part of this process. Women tend to start physical activity with an aesthetic goal. I want to fit into my wedding dress. I want to lose the weight I gained with my last child. I want to wear this swimsuit on vacation. But what keeps them coming back are the deep personal connections they make. When that happens, the journey is so much richer. As the group grew, we tried one adventure after the next, and each time I asked them to try to do something they didn't think they could do. They did their first 3-mile race. They biked around their neighborhood. Then we biked around Bloomington. Then we biked around Monroe County. The next thing I knew, they planned a 2-day bike trip to Spring Mill Park with their husbands and their significant others driving behind, schlepping their gear. We swam in a lake. And let me tell you, there was a lot of anxiety before that lake swim. And then we did the triathlon. Now 15 women strong, and every woman finished. And we celebrated. It was remarkable. When we got back to Bloomington, they said, well, we don't want to stop. And I said, that's great. Let's meet Saturday. Let's pick a next adventure. In the meantime, we knew there were more women in Bloomington who had expressed interest in joining us. So we put up several flyers around town, and I walked into Encore Cafe with several of the W3ers, and we found over 50 women waiting for us. And I turned to the W3ers and said, I had no idea you had so many friends that wanted to join. And they turned to me and said, we know like 5 of these women. W3 is now 14 years old. We use one of the most sophisticated communication systems available, the Yahoo Group's email distribution list. There are over 200 women on that list, some of whom we've never met, but they continue to be inspired and motivated by the mere presence of the group. Some of these women don't even live in Bloomington. But the story is not about what we were doing. That was the vehicle. The story is really about what was happening with the women and with the collective group, and that is what continues to be my passion. One of the first women who said to me, I am pretty sure I'm not doing this triathlon thing, was Kathy. Kathy was born in Spencer, Indiana in the early 50s, 2 younger brothers. Per the era, Kathy didn't see herself as particularly athletic, but her brothers did every sport imaginable. One of her brothers got a bike. He let her ride it. She fell off. He took the bike back, told her she could never ride it again. Kathy didn't ride a bike again for almost 30 years. She met her husband. They had 2 amazing daughters. She spent her energy and her life into meeting her family's needs. In 1999, her daughters were growing up. She was feeling a little overweight, and said, I want something that's for me. As Kathy tried each of the challenges that we chose, she found out she loves being active. And let me tell you, she's a little competitive. And it was amazing. And what should have been an easy bike ride would end up in a full sprint because Kathy wanted to be the first one done. She would give people permission on a run to physically pull her back because she did not know how to harness all this energy. She learned that she loves to bike and she loves going fast. And she really loved Saturday morning with W3. And her family was totally supportive. When she realized that another struggle she was facing was guilt about not being there on a Saturday morning when her children woke up, she turned to the group to ask if anyone else was struggling with this. How do you love your family with your whole heart and yet know this time is so important for you? And the women of W3 were many experiencing similar issues, similar challenges, similar transitions, and they talked about it, and they listened to each other, and they worked through it together. These women are now the core of Kathy's life. When Kathy's husband was diagnosed with cancer, they were in the hospital room with her when he passed away. When her first grandchild was born, they celebrated with her. And 14 years after joining W3, physical activity is a regular part of Kathy's life. W3 gives women a sense of community within our community. It's really easy to hang out with people that are like ourselves. Same background, same age, same profession. W3 brings us in contact with women from all parts of Bloomington. Waitress, doctor, businesswoman, mom, faculty member. Everybody intersects at W3. And we all adventure together. So how does it work? W3 is safe and supportive. That's the magic. Everybody receives the same promise when they arrive on a Saturday. Somebody will always be here, and you will never be alone. And the workout provides us an opportunity to talk. And while the pace of a workout may seem faster than many things, it's still slower than the frantic pace of our lives. We don't have to make time for each other because it's built into our workout time. And interestingly enough, while we're working to meet one need, this fitness need, we're also meeting all these other needs. There is something about working out in community that pushes us to show up. And there's something about bearing witness to other people's lives that helps us live our own. And there's something about meeting a physical challenge that helps us feel more resilient to life's challenges. In 2008, a young woman was sexually assaulted while running near the Beeline Trail. She had never run with W3, but at that point, the group was a very strong force for good. And without trying to impact her life, we wanted to assert to the community the importance of safe space. So using social media, we invited the community to come take back the trail one Saturday. Unbeknownst to me, the young woman joined us and ran with us. And she continued to run with us as she healed and found her courage. During the trial, when it was time for her to testify against her attacker, W3ers were in the courtroom with her to make sure she knew she was not alone, that she was safe and she was loved. The impact of W3 extends way beyond the women of W3. It impacts their spouses, their partners, their children, their friends. So many W3ers are moms, and their children are growing up seeing their mothers as strong, active, confident, healthy women, and that it's good and okay to be that as a woman. We are such a better community for the example that these women are setting. Everybody deserves this in their lives, and anybody can do this. All it takes is 2 or more people willing to go on the adventure together. All it really takes is a willingness to get off the sidelines and jump in to the game. Thank you very much.